What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to Wednesday evening's Anfield Agenda news roundup on the day where it's possible that Liverpool could be crowned Premier League champions if, and it is a big if, Crystal Palace can beat Arsenal tonight. We will be live for a watch along from 7:30 right here on the channel, so hope you can join us for that. Until then, well, we're going to keep you up to date with the very latest in the pursuit of Huijsen, as there are conflicting reports today. Some journalists saying he wants a move to Chelsea, others saying he prefers a move to Liverpool or Arsenal. And as I mentioned yesterday, my information is very much that Liverpool are top of his priority. So I'm going to take you through what we know today, my position on it, and of course ask you guys to let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Drop a like on the video if you enjoy it, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. So let's start off with a little bit around Trent Alexander-Arnold and an update that isn't an update. That's the same old story from Fabrizio Romano, but I got to bring it to you anyway. Fabrizio Romano said no changes in Trent to Madrid, still in the final stages. These final stages that he's been banging on about hadn't half been going on for a long time, have they? Been in the final stages for months now, just like Canade's contract was in the final stages. But yeah, neither are signed. So we'll wait to see what happens here. I don't expect any change in Trent to Madrid, but we still don't know definitively what is happening there. Speaking about Liverpool's summer plans, Sky Sports have said this: left back is a priority position for Liverpool, which shouldn't really be a surprise to any of us. They go on to say we also want a striker and a winger, and if those positions are filled, a right back, a centre midfielder, and a left-sided centre back. So you can see 5-6 positions there mentioned as being ones that Liverpool are, well, looking to strengthen in. So let's move on now to the first part of the situation with Huijsen, Bournemouth centre-back, Spanish international, and a man with a £50 million release clause. Alex Crook has said the centre-back, so there's a story that comes out that says Chelsea have stepped up their interest in Huijsen but face competition from Liverpool or Arsenal. That is then backed up with Alex Crook saying, however, the centre-back is believed to favour a move to Liverpool or Arsenal. And as I mentioned in yesterday's video, for me, my information, and I'm very strong on this information to be honest with you, is that he does prefer a move to Liverpool. Reason being, a couple of things. One, you get to play alongside Virgil van Dijk and progress with him. Two, you are guaranteed Champions League football. Now, I'm not writing Arsenal out of this equation in any way, shape or form, but the Chelsea stuff I am going to push back on a little bit, and I'll move on to that in a moment. But for the interest with Liverpool, he does like the idea of the move. And again, when I don't have a source on something, I'll come on here and tell you about it. But on this one, I'm quite adamant that if the conditions are right, Liverpool would be a club that he would prefer to move to. So what I'm basically saying at the start of this piece here is, don't give up hope. Don't let Chelsea and their manipulation of certain aspects of the media get you sold that it's not even worth trying for. Again, this is Todd Bowley and Chelsea we're talking about, so they seem to have a never-ending pot of money. But it's going to come down to, do you want to prioritise your career? Do you want to make the right move? Or do you want a guaranteed 7-year contract with a load of dough with a club that might not even be in Champions League or Europe next season? So let's wait and see. Or they could be back in the Conference League. Actually, if they win that, they've got themselves a spot in the Europa League, don't they? So big doings there at Chelsea. Milos Kerkez, according to Lewis Steele, is a top target for Liverpool. And again, this shouldn't come as a surprise to anybody. We do need a left back. We do know that Bournemouth are going to ask about 40 million quid for the player. But this piece also from Lewis Steele, by the way, said Bournemouth are interested in Kelleher, Harvey Elliott and Ben Doak. So there could be something there, maybe going the other direction. Now, personally, I know nothing about a potential trade with players going in the opposite direction. Lewis Steele obviously has information on that. And again, it would make sense because they're all very good players, aren't they? Ben Doak, well, we know he's wanted by Everton as well. We know what a good prospect he is. Queevin Kelleher, well, contractually, Liverpool are going to have to sell him this summer. And of course, Elliott, we've spoken about many times, a player that Arne Slot doesn't seem to think is going to make the grade, unfortunately. So again, that would make sense if maybe there is a sale in the opposite direction or maybe even a part exchange. Sticking with Lewis Steele, he went on to say, a big summer awaits and it will be no surprise to see as many as 4 or 5 new signings arrive at Anfield. Now, I would point out that I would say probably half of these signings will be one in, one out. And that's okay as long as they're upgrades on the players coming in versus the ones going out. Positions where I do think we need an extra body. Personally, I would say we need an extra body at centre-back, and we could probably do with an extra body in midfield. Left-back, an upgrade. Centre-forward, upgrade. Winger, upgrade. They're positions that I'm talking about with one in, one out. So again, exciting stuff, linking with plenty of business. Now we move on to Miguel Delaney. And let me say very clearly here, you often hear me having a pop at journalists, go back and forth. I have nothing but the height of respect for Miguel Delaney. He's one of my favourite journalists. He does incredible work, and I'll never run the man down whatsoever because he deserves respect. He's a proper journalist that does great work. I disagree on the sentiment of this, and let me try to explain why. So Miguel writes, Chelsea have taken a lead in the pursuit of Bournemouth's Dean Huijsen as they hope to complete a deal before the Club World Cup. Chelsea are willing to offer a package that could make up a 7-year contract. Matt Law has also said Chelsea are favourites to sign Dean Huijsen. There's already a favourable relationship between Chelsea and Huijsen's agents. So this is what I was talking about when I mentioned your heart or your wallet. Because if there's a favourable relationship with a club and a player's agent, well, you know what that means in real world terms, right? Money. And plenty of it for the agents to make sure that their client does go in one direction. Now, if Dean Huijsen has anything about him, which I'm sure he does, he won't let his wallet rule his head in this situation, because the right move is a Liverpool or an Arsenal. If I'm being really honest about it, I can see a big attraction there. But at Liverpool, you know we'll have a need in the position. You know you'll get to learn alongside the best centre-back to do it in the Premier League. You'll know you're going to be working with a manager who's already just delivered a Premier League title. And yes, Liverpool may not pay as much in that regard with agents' fees. Maybe Liverpool won't offer him a 7-year contract. But you also don't want to be tied in to a 7-year deal. Let's look at Chelsea as a club. If you're an agent looking at it, you're going to say, right, well, they've changed managers quite a bit. This season, they're up and down. They're buying, selling, and moving on a load of players. They could have some headaches around PSR and stuff like that. They may not be in the Champions League next year. So again, hence the title of this video, it's going to come down to, do you want to make the right move for your career, the right move for your development, or do you want to chase money and live in London and maybe be a bit of a Johnny Flash? I think he will choose the other. I think, and my information is that he's looking for a move to a club the ilk of a Liverpool or an Arsenal. And I know from my information that he very firmly likes the idea of coming to Liverpool. Now, what I can't do, and I've always said this, is control what the purse strings are at our club. I don't know what type of wages we're willing to offer him versus the type of wages that Todd Bowley and Chelsea, as an example, are offering players. So that I can't control. But again, I want to reiterate, nothing is done here. This is going to be something that has ups and downs in it. And as I mentioned yesterday, even though I believe we're clear favourites, the player does want to take some time to make a decision before anything happens. So that's where we're at with it. Don't be writing the situation off by any stretch. Again, a lot of London-centric reporting here. So I'm going to keep fighting the fight on our side, and we'll see what happens in the end. Until then, ladies and gents, don't forget we'll be live tonight, 7:30, for the watch-along of Arsenal's game against Crystal Palace. I don't think Palace are going to beat them, but just in case, we want to make sure we're live. Thank you for your support as always. Looking forward to reading your comments, and we'll catch up soon. Bye-bye.